Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to the first ink profile in the series from Ink Flight 34. This is for November 2019, and I'm going to start off with Monteverde Blueberry Muffin. It's this beautiful pinkish purple. It's right here on, this is Tomoe River paper 68 GSM, and this is just watercolor paper. But we'll get started. I've got a lot to show you, and let's see. We'll start by going to the next spread where I've got it several different places. So I always like to start on this paper, and this is all of my collection of what I save. So I thought maybe I'd do it this way this time, put it all down so I won't forget anything. Here's the chromatography on this ink. It just flew right up the strip, and then we see the red, and then we see like a turquoise, just a little strip at the top, but it showed me what was going to happen really on the water test. And as you can see, it's very typical fountain pen ink. It wiped it pretty much clean. You can barely see anything left over of the writing, so you don't want to address envelopes with this. But so then here we have it in the broad nib. But first, I did notice it was quite widely available, so I didn't I just kind of wrote down the retail prices. I'm seeing it approximately here in the United States, 30 ml bottle for $9. They do have that little 50 ml capsule for $12. It looks like it ends up looking like a giant ink sample. I don't have one at this point, but it's taller, but it still looks just like an ink sample. It's just a different capacity, of course, because 50 ml. And then the 90 ml typical bottle that Monteverde puts out, and let's see. This isn't this ink, but this is the bottle. This is my Purple Rain. So that, you know, you have so many choices, and different places offer different sizes of samples too. So in the broad nib, I saw some line variation, you know, some shading. It was really pretty, and it took about 35 seconds to dry. And then moving into the stub nib, this is a Goulet 1.5 stub. It dried a lot quicker. It was 20 seconds and it was dry. I still saw some nice shading in the lettering and in the, you know, scribbles. And I just like to practice just a little bit with my calligraphy there. And then it was strange how down in the fine nib, this is a Lamy fine nib, it got quite a bit darker. And we'll look at that in every sample, but it was very interesting to me because each of these pens had the exact same ink in it before, which was the green. And I can't quite, you know, I don't think it was bad pen care or anything like that. So it did stump me though. I thought that's a big drastic difference how it looked, so we'll pay attention to that as we go on through. And then the ink splatter was just on 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. It's a cream though, and this is more white, the background color of this paper. So I think what we'll do, we'll wait and look at the back of them as we go through, after we get a chance to look at the Rhodia and the other samples. So then on Rhodia, 80 GSM dot grid paper. It looked real nice, I thought, and had it still had shading. I wouldn't call it a super shader, but there's some that you can see. And same 15 seconds to dry. Okay, that was another little bit of a wow. Okay, so much faster to dry on Rhodia. In the 1.5 stub, it was still dry at 15, and I retested at 10. It was still smearing just a little bit. And then again in the Lamy fine nib, it was very, very dark, darker than it was in either of these other nibs. By so much, it just really raised my eyebrows, like, So, and I just wrote down drying a lot faster on this paper. Still took 15 seconds to dry, even in the fine nib, but the smear was very slight at 10 seconds. Okay, so we'll put that there. Just kind of getting that chance to compare them across may help. Let's see, we'll make it bigger so you can see. Okay, then CVS caliber paper. Here we go. This is inexpensive paper from the CVS pharmacy. Hello, Coco. I'm afraid we may have a visitor run across the desk, but we'll see. Hopefully he won't knock over the tripod. I have a new kitty on board. Let me show you his picture, but you may end up seeing him yet. For those of you that don't follow me on social media, I'm taking care of and may adopt a little tiny kitten that showed up in the neighborhood this past Saturday. And he just woke up from a nap. My husband kept telling me, you need to get your video done because he's going to be up and at 'em. But I was enjoying a movie with my husband. It's actually Thanksgiving Day. So anyway, where were we? He ran on, is playing with one of his toys now. So here we are in the broad nib, 30 seconds to dry. So we're back the way it was behaving on the Tomoe River is how it acted on this CVS paper. And it's like a poor man's Tomoe River paper. Okay, and then in the 1.5 stub, it looked nice, but I was struggling with it. It was really, you know, it needed to be turned just right. It wasn't flowing quite as well, and it's such a flowy ink on everything. So I really felt like, in terms of the stub nib and this paper, it wasn't a good match, and it really wasn't with the fine nib either, but I could get away with it, especially if I would print, then I was better off. But the quick cursive writing, like here, it wasn't so great. But 25 seconds to dry in the stub, well, about 20 seconds in the fine nib. And okay, I want to get through all the samples first, and then we'll look at the back of all these papers. Okay, here is Georgia Pacific 20-pound copy paper. It kind of takes the color. It just, I don't know, it messes with the color a little bit, especially like if you compare to the Tomoe River paper. But even the Rhodia, I don't know, it just sort of dulls the color down quite a bit. It didn't even do that on the CVS, so as much. You see, there's a difference, I think. But I didn't have bleed through on this one. I had a lot of feathering though, so don't get too excited. I mean, you could get away with it on here. It barely wanted to even seep through at all, and just in spots. That is a mistake spot, so that little dot there was part of the paper, I guess. But it did feather. Let me see if I can hold it up. It did feather a lot in the broad nib and the stub nib, and we get that quite often. It even feathers in the Lamy fine nib. It was quick drying on here, 15 seconds in the broad nib, 10 in the stub, and I don't even know what it was in the fine nib. Couldn't have been more than 10. I forgot to write that down. So you just expect feathering, but no bleed through on the cheaper paper. That's pretty good. I mean, that gives you something to go by, I guess. And then just real quick in the Leuchtturm 1917 dot grid notebook, I didn't go through the entire test. I just wanted to see how it looked. And this color looks particularly good on a cream colored paper anyway, but I wanted to see whether it would bleed through, because this is bullet journal paper for me till I exhaust my supply. I've got one notebook ahead, and I'm more than, like, maybe 3/4 through the one I'm in now. So just tried to bleed through a little, but it really didn't. I mean, I am sure that I'd be fine with a Lamy fine nib or a regular medium nib. Maybe not a gusher, but it was good. And the colors the color of the ink is shown off so well on that paper color that really did show me something. Can't remember whether I wrote with it on the live notes. The live notes is the one I used to use. Okay, I did. All right. I guess I wanted to see that for myself, to see how these two, this is 68 GSM white Tomoe River paper, and then this is the ivory or cream. Well, no, not ivory, it's cream. It's like a, not white anyway. And there is a difference. There really is, but I guess I like it best on the Leuchtturm as far as color, because that just pops on that Leuchtturm paper. I don't know that that's really going to, hopefully that'll be useful, but I'm not real sure. It was for me. It made me realize that for letter writing, I might go ahead and choose that color. So let's look on the back of the CVS paper. No bleed through. Where it's painted on real heavily there, it tries to seep through, but there's no bleed through at all, just regular ghosting. Okay, and then on Rhodia 80 GSM, we have just your regular ghosting. Tried to seep through where I took the broad nib and laid it right down real heavy to just show you a little ink tile there, but nothing other than that. And then on the back of the 68 GSM white Tomoe River paper, this is the Bond Travel Gear notebook, just regular ghosting. It's fantastic paper. I'm going to cry when it's gone, but it's okay. We'll find alternatives. I've already got people helping me with that, showing me alternatives. So it is time to look at a comparison panel. Let's do that. Let's get, oh dear, I've got so many things going on. I'm surprised the kitty didn't jump up here, because he has been jumping up here when I just was trying to do my ink test. I thought it would take me 3 days. It practically did, because having a little baby kitten in the house, it's new to me. It's been years, like almost 20 years for me. So anyway, here we are. We're lucky so far. I'll bet Manuel might be holding the kitty. Our ink of the day is right in the middle, Monteverde Blueberry Muffin. And it's just really interesting how many inks I had little samples of that kind of resemble it. And yet you can go off in several different directions. You can go off into the purple, more purple range, or you can go into more burgundy, and it gets real confusing, but here we have it. Let's see. I thought Colby No. 6 Bordeaux looked really good right next to it. It's not an exact match by any means, but it surprised me how much it looked like it. And then here I put the Diatramentis Elderberry, and I kept kind of switching. Oh, wow, that's 2 of the same one, and they're a little different, aren't they? That's interesting. That shows you that sometimes we get a different kind of a range of experience. Yeah, I think I really like this one. I wonder if that was back when I didn't put on as much water or as much ink. This is more recent. So let's put that one, and then let's grab and see. Yeah, let's put Noodler's Purple Heart. I have another one here. That happens sometimes when they look different, even though they're the same. I've tried to go through and remake them, or compare them and try to see what my experience says it looks more like. But there is a little variety, so we always need to buy a sample. That's a really good, like, exhibit 1 of why we need a sample. So good, I'm glad to see Noodler's Purple Heart on here, because I think it has a lot in common. It's got a little more stability with the water. It moves around, and it certainly isn't bulletproof, but you can see that Monteverde washes completely away in water. And Noodler's and Diatramentis kind of leave behind, you know, you can see where the paintbrush was. Same with Platinum Lavender Black. That one left a lot of, you know, visibility about what had been there. And Colorverse Einstein Ring, I love that ink. That's really pretty. Tyridian Purple Diamine, that's interesting how that compares. Yet it seems like it's got more darkness to it, a little different. It is different. I have really a lot of trouble with this color group, to be honest. It confuses me a lot, and I have trouble even categorizing in my index of these tiles whether it belongs with purple or whether it belongs with burgundy or like plum. There's so much variety. I thought Diatramentis Blackberry, and there's another one. Must be coming up in here. I've got some more, so I might as well start on those, I guess. But Burgundy Royale is much redder, and it's burgundy for sure, but I still thought it needed to be compared with today's ink. Huh. Well, that was confusing. Okay, probably got duplicates in here too, but here's KWZ Standard Brown Pink, and that is just so much more purpley. And that's one of the reasons I pulled that one out. And then we have, oh yes, this is my current favorite, and it's one of the reasons why I pulled it out. Straits Pen Honest Ink Bougainvillea Purple. And that's much more purpley, kind of gets in there with Einstein Ring, and it's brighter than Purple Heart, than Noodler's. So, but this being my favorite, I wanted to see how it compared with Blueberry Muffin. That helps me a lot to see it and know that that's my preference. And then here's another old favorite, Monteverde Rose Noir. And that's the one where we can see what, okay, the 30 ml bottles of these Monteverde Sweet Life inks come like this. But you know, even there was one place online that I even saw this one in a big bottle. But trying to remember, and hopefully I'll be able to find a link for it when I do the description box for you. Okay, but I guess what I was saying is this is totally different. It's purpley. It's a lot more purple, and it is over where my heart belongs more. And yet it's so different from the bougainvillea purple. So I started pulling out all kinds of them that reminded me. Okay, here's Birmingham Gerbera Pink. And that just made me look, you know, it made me pull it out to see how that compared. But this is much more like the Burgundy Royale. Whoops, we're sliding and slipping and sliding. Okay, well, Krishna Black Rose. Definitely more burgundy. And it's got a lot more shading and sheening and complexity, but it's just a different ink. And I only have had a sample of that, and that sample is either low or gone. So here's a Kyoto ink that made me look. Again though, much more burgundy and red rather than purplish. But it just falls, this one falls right in the middle to where it makes you check everything. Like Noodler's Black Swan and Australian Roses is brighter. But I feel like it's in that family. I really do. Okay, and one more. Tasha Ebby. Now, I thought this was going to be a lot more of a look-alike. It's got a lot of pink in it and, you know, red, and it's just really complex. Red purple, I think, is what this stands for. So there's a lot of comparing to do, and you will definitely want a sample of this one. This one's one that would be very hard to see where it falls without a sample. So what did I think of it? Well, let's see. I got my little trusty book from the pen thing. My pen friend Brian sent me from New Jersey, and this is the page I did. It's funny, it kind of mutes the color. Let's see. Grab our little sample here, and I just wanted to show you because it's that paper, and it just doesn't brighten the ink. It kind of makes it look kind of brushed, and but it's fine. It still looks nice on this paper, but it's not as bright as it is on Rhodia. Okay, so filled it up on the 25th. So it's like a third day I've been writing with it. Great flow. I like the color, but I guess you could probably tell there are other colors in that category I like better. I thought the saturation was good. 7 I gave it. The flow was excellent. I gave it an 8. Shading I thought was maybe average. And I like shading up around 8 or 9. You know, I like really good shading if it's going to be there. But I have nothing against a flat plain color ink either. No bleeding that I could see. Feathering only on the copy paper. The dry time was good. I gave that a 7 because I felt like I wasn't waiting around for that. I didn't see any sheen or halo or shimmer. And overall, I just gave it a 7. I think it's a good ink. Definitely, like, it's well behaved. Like, I pick up the pen after, you know, not writing with it yesterday, and all 3 pens are in great shape, writing really good. So let's see if we can try the Nick Stewart technique on this. Whoops, I'm not moving very fast today. All right, got the notebook ready and all of our little necessary items, especially water. This is what worries me. I've got such bad habits. I usually take the paintbrushes out but leave the water on my desk until, you know, when it's bad, I just go change it. But with the kitten, I can only imagine what's going to happen if I don't take care of my desk, so this is good incentive. Okay, I've got pens, and I did choose a Noodler's Apache Sunset to just go with this ink. I'm not sure why. It just hit me that I wanted to try it. So, and this is today's. I have very little left. I've been really enjoying writing with it, and a little later I'm going to start Christmas cards. I haven't even written one yet, but it's just Thanksgiving, so no emergency. Okay, here we go. But you know, it's funny. It seems like time goes so fast. It really does. So I'm hoping to start those later. Okay, let me make sure I have the clean paintbrush. And we'll just see what this does. I like how it acted on the other watercolor sample. Ooh, there's barely enough to use. I just kind of liked how it separated and you could see the blue, but I'm not sure what we're going to see here. We'll just have to experiment with it a little. Okay, I'd like to get the pen before I do much more with the broad nib and see. This is the Genhao X750 with a Goulet broad nib. That way we can just kind of pen in our line there. Let's see what else we can get. That's pretty, but I'm not seeing any of the additional colors coming through yet. So let's use, let's see, I've got another brush. I want to put a little more ink down than what I had planned originally. Whoops. I'm going to put down a little Apache Sunset and see what happens. Just kind of aiming for the sky, but I'm not sure what we'll get. There we go. That looks really bright, even to my eye. You're not seeing things. That looks really bright. Okay, and then maybe. Ooh, now it's starting to separate more. Let's see what we can get here. I'm gonna just create a little bit more interest down here. I don't know. It's been a couple of days since I've done this. I'm thinking, this is an idea I'm having. I'm thinking about doing Create December. It's a challenge that I heard about through Bree, Art Journal Girl, and I thought about doing one of these every day for December. The little Nick Stewart technique. Kind of, they're quick and fun, and I just thought that might be a neat thing to do for that. And then I'd have either, well, hello, Coco. I'd either have individual, I know you're going to wind up in the water. I just know it. He's getting up on my lap now and probably, oops, okay, he's going to make an appearance. I think we'll be okay as long as we don't spill any ink. He's going to help. I mean, he's a baby, and I remember Mina when she was a baby. Don't put your head in there. That's what Mina liked to do. She like, okay, now, let's not step on the wet ink. Can we not do that? Thank you. Don't put your head in there. See, my other cat, when she was a kitten, I could never leave any glasses out or anything because she'd stick her head right in the, I don't know, I had these weird glasses. Okay, I think that's enough. They've seen you and you got your footprint in there. Okay, there you go. All right, okay, so now let's put, I'll be right with you, Coco, I promise. Yeah, I know, Daddy's had more time with you than me today. I know, it's not fair, is it? I'm going to try to hold him, but oh, it can be interesting. Oh, it's pretty. I do like that combination, actually. Yeah, see, you can smell it, but if you get in there, you're going to get all inky, and you're a white kitty. Yeah. See that? That's neat, huh? This cat is interested in everything. For being so little, he just totally, it's like an artist hidden in a cat body. Oh, okay, now he's laying down. That helps a little. We got wires, we got everything. All right. I think it's the paintbrush he likes the most. Gosh, those are pretty colors together. And I don't, oh, there he goes. He heard something in the kitchen and he knows that's where the food is. So.
Willy will jump into that basket and it'll tip over and fall.
No, but I'm taping still.
Oh,
what basket?
Where he goes in the...
Oh, no. He's talking about the other cat. And my indoor-outdoor cat, Willy, you guys have met him before, but for those of you who haven't, he's been spending a lot of time outside because we're having kind of a warm winter. This is Willy, just for those who don't remember or haven't been here. He has a basket he likes because I have some things that need to be washed in it right now. Some towels, and they're like, I don't know, towels I've used with the cats. But I don't think he'll knock it over. He hasn't done it yet. So poor Manuel, he didn't realize I was still doing this. Of course, this can go on forever, but I think that's really pretty. And the only thing I haven't done is try to add in a little detail with the Lamy fine nib here. Okay. Well, I'm not sure I just want to add a regular old tree in the middle of such a psychedelic colors. I think we'd just go for a wild tree or something. There we go. That looks more at home there. So this is neat. I like the color combination, and I'm beginning to see that you get quite a bit of shading and variation and a little bit of purple coming out, you know, real true purple here, and pink coming out all around. So that's pretty. Anyway, as I was gonna say, I'll let you know. I'll definitely do it over on Instagram, and possibly every couple of days in December show, you know, the progression in the book, because I thought maybe that would be fun to do one of these every day for Create December. Here comes Coco. Okay, I gotta let you go because this is really long, but I did want to just say that this is our panel of 7 that we're working our way through. And so now we've done Monteverde Blueberry Muffin, this one here, and there was a lot of interest in 2 others, Monteverde Birthday Cake and Monteverde Iced Cookie. So somehow or another I'm going to have to decide between those 2, and maybe I'll have time to get comments and then let it sort of vote work for it. I've scrawled down a couple of things on my desk pad about what people had said, and I know that this one, and this one got quite a few comments. So I will see you soon with another video, and I hope you're having a great day, whatever day it is that you're watching, and bye for now.